Hey, good afternoon. What's up, baseball fans? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are back to our 1908 Beyond the Merkle game, which is the stretch run of the 1908 National League pennant race between the Chicago Cubs, New York Giants, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, who engaged in a furious pennant race that season. In fact, 1908, of course, with the American League having an equally tight pennant race, which eventually went to the Detroit Tigers, probably the best pennant race still to this day in both leagues in the history of the game. So we're going to play the Cubs. This is a September 29th, 1908 game, and the Cubs, clinging on to a slight lead atop the National League standings, won this game against the Cincinnati Reds in real life 6-2 behind the pitching of Mordecai Brown, and they will look to keep pace and maintain their lead, a very slim lead, as the season heads towards its final week. So we will get right to the lineups. For the Cubs, leading it off, Jimmy Sheckard in left, Johnny Evers at second, Frank Schulte in right, Frank Chance at first, and Harry Steinfeld, who will be the subject of our seventh inning fun fact today, is at the hot corner. Circus Solly Hoffman is in center field. And I've got first base there on the score sheet. Joe Tinker at short, and Johnny Kling behind the plate, and of course Brown, Three-Finger Brown on the hill. For the home-standing Reds, it's Dick Egan leading off at second, Dode Paskert in left, Hans Lobert at short, Bob Bescher in right, or center, sorry, Dick Hoblitzel at first, Mike Mowry at third, Mike Mitchell in right, and Admiral Schley behind the plate. And pitching today for the Reds is their ace in 1908, Bob Ewing, record of 17-15. We are ready to go. And first we will roll for our stuff for the pitchers. And again, house rule, I go 1-5 for A and 16-20 for C. And this is going to be Bob Ewing with his A stuff, so that's going to make things a little bit tougher for the Cubs. And Mordecai Three-Finger Brown, he actually has his C stuff, so could be an interesting matchup. We'll see if Brown can still come through. As Jimmy Sheckard steps up to the plate, we are underway, and it is going to be 64 to start the game, and that's going to go to the pitcher's card, and that will be an out. And again, using the fast action cards, that's a pop out to the third baseman, one down. So I just need to get situated here. All right, F5 to start the game for Sheckard. That brings up Johnny Evers, the fiery second baseman of the Cubs, known as the Crab. And Evers, that's going to be a 42 again to the pitcher's card, and that's going to be an out off the A column, and it's going to be a line out to second base. And Evers struck that hard, but right at the Reds' second baseman, Dick Egan, two down, and that brings up Frank Wildfire Schulte. Here comes the pitch to Schulte, and that is going to end the inning as Schulte drives that into center field. Going back a few steps to pull that in is Bob Bescher, and 3 up, 3 down go the Cubbies in the first. We have no score as we head to the bottom of the inning. For the homestanding Reds, it'll be Egan, Paskert, and Lopert. Mordecai Brown toes the rubber, and we are going right away to the 54 chart. And bases empty, Wild, and that is going to go to the Wilder chart. And on the Wilder chart, all right, foul pop-up behind the plate, catcher fighting it, a 1D20 versus his E rating to see if he can hang on. And catching, Admiral Schley, he has an error rating of 2, so he's pretty solid. He's going to bobble that, but hang on to it. And back to the dugout. I'm sorry, it's Johnny Kling. And his error rating is even better, so F2 for Egan. One down, Dode Paskert steps up. Brown kicks and delivers, and that is going to be an out off of Paskert's card. A fly ball to left field. And coming in to take that on the run is Jimmy Sheckard, 2 down. So we are settling in for a old style pitcher's duel here, at least early in this one. And that's going to bring up the third place hitter, Hans Lobert. What's up, Matt? Welcome to the ballpark, my friend. Palace of the Fans, to be exact, in Cincinnati. As Lopert, that's going to be a hit by pitch on a 1-2. That's not, so that will be an out. Fly ball into right field, and venturing over near the foul line to pull that in is Frank Wildfire Schulte, and 3 up, 3 down go the Cincinnati Reds as we're through 1 inning, no score. For the Cubbies, it's going to be the peerless leader, Frank Chance, one of the most miserable son of a bitches ever to play the game, Harry Steinfeld, and Solly Hoffman. Here we go. And 32, that is going to be off the pitcher's card, and 32 off the A column. That'll be an out by Ewing. His good stuff coming in handy here early in this one. A ground ball down to third. And charging out with a nice pickup is Mike Mowry, 1 down for Harry Steinfeld, who again will be the subject of our 7th inning fun fact today. And there will be no gruesome details in this one, Matt. It's going to be a 12, and Steinfeld, that's going to be a ground ball down to third again. So 2 plays in a row at the hot corner for Mowry. He handles both flawlessly. 2 up, 2 down for Circus Solly Hoffman. And Hoffman, the Cubbies center fielder, hit a very pedestrian 243 in 1908. And here we go. Here comes the pitch, 36, and that's going to end the inning. A lazy fly ball into center field. Camping out under that is Bescher, and another 3 up, 3 down inning for Ewing and the Reds as we head to the bottom of the frame. No score, and for Cincinnati, it's going to be Bescher who made that play, followed by Hoblitzel and Mowry. Here we go. Bescher steps up against 3-finger Brown. Here comes the pitch, and 21. Swing and a miss. Bescher, a big cut, and the famous, vaunted 3-finger Brown curveball under the bat. Scooped out of the dirt by Johnny Kling, 1 down. And Dick Hoblitzel steps in. He's going to have a 12 as well. That's going to be a line drive, hot down the line, right at Frank Chance. 2 hands there, and that's going to be 2 quick outs for the Reds. Brown now leans in, gets a sign, wets his fingers. Here comes a pitch, 52, and we are going to go to the defensive chart. 52, potential 2-base error on the second baseman, which, of course, is the Crab, Johnny Evers. He has an error rating of 10, and Evers are going to throw that into the stands, E4, and scampering all the way to second base is Mowry. And Tinker, his middle of the infield partner there at short, shoots Evers an evil glance. No love lost between these two. They barely spoke, in fact, in the latter stages of their time together. Brings up Mike Mitchell, and Brown gets a sign, kicks and delivers, and 46, we are going to the ballpark and no home run chance. So Palace of the Fans, right-handed batter, a roll of 11, and that is going to be a foul out, and venturing over near the line to pull that in as Chance. Side is retired. So the error by Evers does not come back to bite the Cubs. No hits and no runs. 1 left as we head to the top of the third. And for the Cubbies, it'll be Solly Hoffman, Joe Tinker. Actually, I got out of order here. It will be Hoffman, Tinker, and Johnny Kling. Here we go. Actually, no, I am right. I screwed up. All right, Tinker, Kling, and Brown. Bottom 3 in the order. Here comes a pitch by Ewing, and 36. That's going to be an out. And that's going to be a ground ball down to third. So a busy man at the hot corner is Maurer. He's made 3 of the last 4 putouts for Cincinnati. 1 down, and the catcher, Johnny Kling, steps up. Kling, a very respectable 276 for the dead ball era in 1908. Here comes a pitch from Ewing, 55. And 55, that is going to be driven into the outfield, and that's going to get down into the gap, and we have a 1-out double. Cubs with their first hit. In fact, first hit of the ball game. So Mordecai Brown now with a chance to help himself. Ewing needs to bear down here. 16, swing and a miss, and he does just that. The high heat Brown can't catch up with it, and 2 down, top of the order. Cubbies hoping they do not strand a runner in scoring position, as runs will be at a premium today against Ewing, who looks sharp on the mound. Here comes the pitch. And 33, that is going to be a walk by Sheckard, and that would be a walk plus normally a steal, but second base is occupied in front of him, so he's going to stand pat. And that brings up Johnny Evers, who has a chance to atone for his error in the last inning. Let's see if he can come through here. 13, and that'll be a walk on a roll of 1 to 16. It is. And the Cubbies now, bases loaded. And striding up to the plate is the great and powerful Frank Wildfire Schulte. Schulte, however, only a 236 hitter. Left-hander steps in. And here comes a pitch, and that's going to be a single, though. Bases loaded and full. I'm sorry, base hit to center field. And second to home, looks like everybody's going to hold. So the Cubbies move up station to station, but they have cracked the scoreboard. RBI single by Schulte, and it is 1-0 Chicago, and base is still juiced. 2 down, and the peerless leader, Frank Chance, steps up for the Cubs. Ewing in a bit of a pinch here. Let's see if he can get out of this, and it's going to go to Ewing's card, and the fastball inside. Chance swings, misses, strike 3. So Ewing pitches himself out of a precarious jam here in the third, only gives up a single run. We head to the bottom of the frame, and the Cubbies lead this 1-0 in a game they have to win to stay on pace. For Cincinnati, it will be Admiral Schley, the pitcher spot, and top of the order for Dick Egan. Here we go, Mordecai Brown. Pitching tough despite not having his good stuff today, and Mitchell is going to go down looking there, a slow curve. I'm sorry, Schley. A little off my game here with the cards. So 1 down as Schley caught looking at the slow curve. Bob Ewing, the pitcher, steps up. Ewing digs in. Here comes Brown. Brown, high heat, and strike 3 called. Ewing takes a fastball across the letters. He's not happy with the call. Elects to keep his mouth shut, though, so he gets the same call when he's on the hill. So 2 quick outs. Dick Egan, top of the order. He popped out to the catcher his first time up. And the pitch from Brown, that's going to be a line drive into center field. Coming in hard to pluck that off the shoe tops is Solly Hoffman. And Cincinnati goes down in order in the third. They are still looking for the first base hit of this game. We head to the 4th inning, 1-0 Chicago up. And it's going to be for the Cubbies, Steinfeld, Hoffman, and Tinker. Ewing survived what could have been a disaster last inning, gets a sign, and here comes a pitch, 26 against a left-hander. That would be a single, but Ewing's a righty. It's going to be a ground ball down to second base. And routine play there for Egan, 4-3 on the putout. We'll bring up Circus Solly Hoffman. Hoffman today grounded out to third his first time up. And here comes the pitch. Ewing jams him inside. He loops that into left field shallow. Coming in hard, basket catch. Dode Paskert, 2 down. And the shortstop, Joe Tinker, now up to the plate. Tinker, who between innings exchanged words with Evers in the dugout over his error early in the game, settles in. Here's the pitch from Ewing, and that's going to be driven into center field, going back a few steps, but plenty of room out there. Bob Bescher jogs under that, and 3 up, 3 down go the Cubbies in the 4th. So we are dead ball era game at its finest. Dan Douglas, welcome, my friend. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Cincinnati looking for their first hit. Trails the Cubbies 1-0. Dode Paskert's going to lead it off for the Reds. And 64 off of Brown's card. That's going to be a drive into center field. Solly Hoffman pounds the glove, camps under that, 2-hands it, and 1 away to start the 4th. Hans Lopert, the batter. And Lopert featured in that iconic baseball book, The Glory of Their Times. If you could get the video, or I'm sorry, audio version, the actual taped interviews that is available on iTunes, Lopert, kind of a sad story. Very happy guy, had a rough go of it late in life, but definitely worth a listen. I recommend that. Actually, the audio book is better than the actual book because you're hearing the ball players tell the stories in their own words. But I digress. Against a left-hander, Lopert would have got a single there. Instead, that's going to be a ground ball down to short, and Tinker charges that. Whips it to Chance, and 2 down. The speedy center fielder, now Bob Bescher, steps up for the Reds. Brown with a pitch, and Bescher tries to check his swing. Strike 3, second time he's been fanned today, and the sides retired in order. Mordecai Brown still working on a no-no as we head to the top of the 5th. 1-0 Cubs up, and it'll be Kling, Brown, and top of the order for Chicago. And against the left-hander, that would have been another single. Of course, both pitchers righties. It's going to be a fly ball into center field, an easy play out to Bescher. 1 down to start the 5th, and Mordecai Brown, the pitcher, now steps up. Brown struck out his first time up. Here comes a pitch, and he's going to put this one into play, but not no different result, as that's a lazy fly ball. Second in a row to Bescher, and 2 quick outs here for the Cubs in the top of the 5th inning. Top of the order, Jimmy Sheckard is 0 for 1 with a walk. Ewing gets a sign, kicks, delivers, and again, he's got his good stuff. That's going to be a ground ball down to second base, and a nice play behind the bag by Egan. Whips it to first, so the Cubbies also go down in order, and we are halfway through this one. This game is speeding along as we head to the bottom of the 5th, 1-0. It's going to be Hoblitzel, Mowry, and Mitchell for the Cincinnati Reds. Mordecai Brown checks the sign, kicks, delivers, and Hoblitzel drives that into center field. A routine play out there for Solly Hoffman. 1 down to start the 5th. Brings up Mike Mowry. Mowry reached on an error, the only blemish on Brown's record, committed by Evers back in the 2nd inning. Here comes a pitch, and Mowry puts that into play. That's going to be a line drive into center field. Charging hard is Hoffman. Nice tie grab. 2 outs. So both teams' center fielders busy today, as Mike Mitchell now tries to start a little 2-out magic. And again, against a left-hander, that would have been a hit, but instead that's going to be another fly ball to center field. This one a lazy variety. Hoffman underneath that. Sides retired in order again as we head to the top of the 6th inning. A 1-0 epic pitchers duel. It's going to be Evers, Schulte, and Chance for the Cubbies. And a lot of rollings, and that's going to be a routine fly ball into left field. And Dode Paskert camps under that, pulls it in. Evers is retired, heads back to the dugout. Kicks some dirt as he steps across the first base bag as Frank Schulte waits for the pitch. Schulte, he has an RBI single, the game's only run so far, and 35 coming off Ewing's A column. That's going to be a ground ball down to second base. Nice play by Egan in the hole. And Hoblitzel secures the throw. 2 down for Frank Chance. Chance has grounded out, struck out. And we're going to go to the defensive chart again, 52. And 52, possible 2-base error on the Reds' second baseman. And at second base for Cincinnati, Egan has an error rating of 20. You can kiss that goodbye as he sails that into the dugout. So both second basemen having a little Steve Sachs-itis here early in this one. First error of the game for Cincinnati, and Frank Chance now stands in scoring position for Harry Steinfeld. And Steinfeld, again, will be our 7th inning fun fact today. And against a left-hander, Steinfeld would have come through, but instead that's going to be a sharp line drive. And actually we'll use the optional 6. That's going to go straight to the shortstop, and a nice play there by Lopert. Side is retired. So no hits, no runs, 1 error as we head to the bottom of the frame. Nobody left. It is 1-0 Chicago, nursing a slim lead. For Cincinnati, Admiral Schley, Dick Ewing, and then top of the order for Dick Egan. Reds still looking for their first hit. Not going to happen here as Brown rips off a curveball. And again, Brown does not have his good stuff. He has his C stuff. That's going to be a drive into right field. And near foul line, Schulte brings that in. One down as Ewing steps up, and he's going to look to spoil the fine effort of his counterpart. And 31, that's going to Brown's card, and the no-hitter is goodbye, as his opposing number drives that back through the box into center field. And a nice patronizing round of applause from the Reds fans for Brown, as Cincinnati finally has a hit. One down, Dick Egan's going to look to do some damage. 35, and going off of Brown's card. And again, even in the C column, that's going to be an out. Ground ball down to shortstop, and that will be second baseman with a strong arm is going to turn the double play, and Evers is average. So that'll be a fielder's choice. 6-4 erased at second base is Ewing, and Dick Egan now on to first for the Reds. Dode Paskert up with 2 down. Brown looking to end it right here, 36, and he will do so, as that's going to be a fly ball into left field. And coming in halfway between the fence and third base, pulling that in is Scheckert. And Side is retired, but not before Cincinnati finally gets in the hit column. We're through 6 innings. It is still 1-0. Chicago nursing a slim lead as Ewing comes out for the 7th. And he will be facing Sully Hoffman, Joe Tinker, and Johnny Kling. Here we go, and we're going right away to the defense. 53, that is going to be a range play on the left fielder. And out in left field, Dode Paskert, and he has a range of 10. It is a 10 and a nice snow cone grab out and left. So excellent running catch by Paskert as Hoffman, disgusted, trudges back to the dugout. One down for Joe Tinker. And here comes a pitch from Ewing. Tinker, and Tinker's going to ground that into the hardened clay infield. Charging in to take that is third baseman Mowry. Nice play to first base. Just nips Tinker by a step. 2 down, and the catcher Johnny Kling steps up. Kling today is 1 for 2 of the double, and he has scored the game's only run. Here we go, 11, and 1 to 10 is going to be a single. 15, no, that's going to be an out. A ground ball down to second base to Dick Egan. Sidearms it to first, and the Cubbies go down in order in the 7th. It is 1-0 as we head for our 7th inning stretch, and we'll do our fun fact. Again, Harry Steinfeld. The fun fact of the day, Steinfeld, son of German immigrants, and he is probably one of the more popular trivia question or answers to it. One of the more popular trivia questions. Who is the other member of the famous Tinker to Evers to Chance infield? And that, of course, Harry Steinfeld during the Cubs' glory years. He was born in 1877 in St. Louis, moved to Texas as a young boy, where he started his baseball career with Fort Worth in the Texas League. He was eventually signed, and actually very sneakily, on the reserve list. The Fort Worth team misspelled his name, which through a loophole enabled Detroit of the Western League to snatch him. And of course, they were a soon-to-be major league team, but before they could reach that status, Cincinnati came in and drafted both Steinfeld and Noodles Hahn, who was one of the premier pitchers in the early part of the 20th century before arm trouble sidelined him and derailed a very promising and potentially Hall of Fame career. But anyway, Steinfeld had an up and down career with the Reds, and in 1905 was having a somewhat marginal season. He'd been hampered by a leg injury. And a funny story, he kind of predicted his own demise in Cincinnati, and this was recanted by Al Bridwell, who in 1908 is actually playing on the Giants in this replay. But Bridwell recalled Steinfeld coming up to him before a game in 1905 and say, "Kid, you're going to be the regular third baseman pretty soon, maybe starting today." And when Bridwell asked him what he meant, Steinfeld said, "Wait and see. Something might happen. You can never tell in this game." And early in the game, in the 3rd inning, A foul ball went up the third base line near the railing, and Steinfeld ran over to catch it. As he did so, he tumbled over the railing, hurt himself, and ended up leaving the game. And that was the last time he played third base. He was traded that season to the Chicago Cubs and went on actually to have a career year in 1906, hit .327, led the league all third basemen with a .954 fielding percentage, and of course fell victim to the hitless wonders in the World Series. He came back in 1907 and led all players in the series, hitting .471 as the Cubs swept the Detroit Tigers in 4 straight. And in this season of 1908, he actually hit a career low at .241, but still was a regular fixture at the hot corner for Chicago up through 1910, where he has started to tail off considerably. And eventually he had an interest in baking and ended up in the baking supply business and started that career in 1912 before returning to the diamond in the new United States League. But the circuit folded. He eventually tried out for the Cardinals, drew a release there, and went back to his business. Unfortunately, however, he was caught ill and actually, unfortunately, died in August 17th. There's your morbid fact, Matt. 1914, 37 years old of a cerebral brain hemorrhage. So there is your fun fact on Harry Seinfeld. We are back to the game. Bottom of the 7th inning, Cincinnati. It's going to be Lopert, Bescher, and Hoblitzel. Here we go. Mordecai Brown kicks, delivers. Lopert drives that into left field and running hard into the gap, making a nice play. Jimmy Sheckert reaches out, one-handed grab. One down to start the 7th. Brown gets a sign, settles in, and Bob Bescher, that's going to be a defensive play. Whoops. 53, and that's going to be a potential range, an infield single. So we will check the range of Joe Tinker, and Tinker at shortstop has a stellar range at 16. He does a great job getting to that in the hole. Nice throw, and just nips Bescher by a half a step. As Bescher, good speed, gets down the line quick, but 2 down, and Dick Hoblitzel steps in. We're going to have another defensive check. And this is going to be a potential range play for the pitcher. Base hit into center field. And Mordecai Brown has a range of 8. He's not going to be able to get to that. And Cincinnati has their second base hit of the ball game. 2-out single for Hoblitzel and Mike Mowry up. Hoblitzel gets his lead, and here comes the pitch. That would have been a single on a roll of 1 instead. That's going to be a ground ball and a roll of 2. Chopped off the plate, and pouncing on that from behind the dish is Johnny Kling. Whips it to chance at first, and G2. And the 7th for the Reds. They get 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. As we head to the top of the 8th, it is still a 1-0 battle. Fun facts are indeed a 37-year-old death due to cerebral hemorrhage. So here we go. Johnny Kling leading off the 8th. I'm sorry, it's actually Mordecai Brown. It's about the 3rd time I've screwed up the lineup in this game. All right, 34 and 34, even with A stuff, Brown is going to strike back and get a single off his counterpart. And of course, Ewing broke up Brown's no-hitter back in the 6th inning. Top of the order, Brown at first base, Jimmy Sheckert. Sheckert 0 for 3. Here comes the pitch, 51 and 51. That is going, hold it. All right, that's going to be a potential error on Evers again, and Evers, of course, is a 10, and that's going to be a 10, and Evers has his 2nd error of the ball game. And you can see Tinker saying, I'm sorry, Cubs are up. Man, I'm all over the place in this. So Egan, his error, that's going to be his 2nd error of the ball game. And I guess technically Joe Tinker could still be saying something to him, taunting him from the dugout. So runners on first and second, nobody out. Cubs looking to extend their lead. Surprised they did not call for a bunt there, but he's going to swing away. And 46, we are going to the ballpark. No home run possibility. And 3, that is going to be a double. So Evers comes through big time, and that's going to be driven into center field. And first to home, holds a fast runner on first, scores, and average Jimmy Sheckert. So he's going to stay put. But Cubbies tack on another, and more importantly, they have runners on second, third, nobody out, and Frank Schulte steps up. Wildfire 1 for 3 today with a ribby, and here comes a pitch, and Ewing, he is falling apart here on the top of the 8th. That's going to be a base hit into right field. And second to home is going to score, so 2 runs come in. One of them is going to be unearned, and the Cubbies have jumped to a 4-0 lead as both Evers and Sheckert come around to score. And there is activity in the bullpen finally after the 2 RBI single. And Frank Chance steps up. Now still nobody out. Ewing reeling here on the ropes, and he is going to issue free pass on a roll of 1 to 18. So yes, indeed. And that makes the first 6 batters of this inning to reach base, and warming up furiously for the Cincinnati Reds. Is going to be Gene Dubuque, and Dubuque Hurley trying to get ready as kicking and delivering, and that's going to be yet another walk. So the bases are loaded, still nobody out as Harry Steinfeld trots down to first. The wheels have completely come off for Ewing and the Reds. And after this batter, we can replace the pitcher, and we're going to need to, as that's going to be driven into the outfield. First to third is going to hold, and second to home, base hit to right field if a weak or average arm in right field. And in right field for the Reds, that is indeed an average arm. 2 more runs come in to score. And holding at second base is Steinfeld. It is now 6-0. 1-0 heading into the 8th. And the floodgates have opened, and that's going to be it for Ewing as he fails to retire a batter here in the 8th inning. Unbelievable. So 6 hits, and currently he is on the hook for 6 runs, 5 of them earned. And he ends up walking 2 for and strikes out 2. So despite the fact that he was very sharp early in this one, he has fallen apart. And he's going to get a seat in the dugout as Gene Dubuque comes in to try and staunch the flow of blood here. And he's going to face Joe Tinker to start it off. 16, and that is going to be an out. Bases loaded. So full fielder's choice out at home. And that is going to be it. As that I'm sorry, there's only runners on first and second. Jeez, I'm rusty today. First and second, runner out, 3-1, and first baseman strong. It's still all right. So runners move up, and finally out is recorded as Johnny Kling steps up, and Dubuque, 1 down. Here comes a pitch, and Dubuque, that is going to go to the ballpark, and 11. 11 will be a foul out, and that's going into third base territory, and making the play near the stands for the second out of the inning is Mowry. So F5, and we are back to the man who started it all, Mordecai Brown, with a leadoff single, 2 down. Runners on second, third still. Here comes a pitch, and 62. That is finally going to do it for the Reds as Brown grounds that down to shortstop. So 6-3, but the Cubbies send 10 men to the plate here in the 8th inning and extend their lead to 6-0. On the strength of 4 hits, 2 walks, and an error, we can close the book on Ewing. And that is going to be his final line score, giving up 5 runs, or 6 runs, 5 of them earned. So we head to the bottom of the 8th, and suddenly things looking pretty cozy for the Cubs. Brown with a 6-0 lead. And despite the fact that he does not have his good stuff, has pitched very well today. And potential hit by pitch on a 1-3. It's above that, so that's going to be a fly ball into center field. Sully Hoffman. Routine play out there for him, and 1 down. Admiral Schley, the catcher, up. And the Reds, they do not have a pinch hitter out, so they, it looks like, have resigned themselves to defeat today. As the pitch to Schley, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Tinker, and Tinker ranges in the hole between second and third, plants his feet, throws, and gets Schley by a couple of steps, 2 down. And they are going to let the pitcher hit away with a 6-0 deficit. They see no need to pinch hit as Dubuque steps up. Stellar 138 hitter. Here comes a pitch, and that's going to end the inning as Brown, he's going to induce another ground ball down to short. Routine play for Tinker. 3 up, 3 down go the Reds here in the 8th. And we head to the top of the 9th inning and cruising now. Chicago, after that 5-run outburst and inning go, lead at 6-0. And it's going to be Scheckert, Evers, and Schulte for the Cubs. And here comes a pitch from Dubuque, and that's going to be a ground ball down to first base. Taking that to the bag himself is Blitzel. 3 on a assist start the 8th, and Johnny Evers steps up. Evers is 1 for 3, a walk. Run scored, double, and an RBI. Here comes a pitch, and 34. That's going to be an out as Evers bounces out off the plate, charging hard from third. Mowry barehands it, throws to first, just gets Evers 2 down as Frank Wildfire Schulte steps up. Schulte had a 2-run single and later scored his last time up. Here comes a pitch from Dubuque, and it's going to be a lazy fly ball into center field. Camping out under that is Bob Bescher, so side is retired. 3 up, 3 down. But again, the damage was done in the 8th as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Mordecai Brown working on a masterful 2-hitter, leads at 6-0, and it's going to be Dick Egan, Dode Paskert, and Hans Lobert. Here we go. Egan leads it off for the Reds. Last chance. That's going to be hit hard down to Chance at first base. He spears that, trots to the bag himself. 1 down to start the 9th. Striding up to plate is Paskert, who is 0 for 3. He has flown out 3 times, twice to left, once to center, and he's not going to have any success this time as he drives that into center again. And Sully Hoffman's going to retire him for the 2nd time. So 4 fly outs ends the day for Paskert, and the Reds down to their last batter. Hans Lopert steps up. Brown gets a sign, kicks, delivers 46. We are going to the ballpark, and again, no home run chance at the ballpark. A 10, that's going to be a foul ball, and they'll do it again as Chance unable to run that down before it goes into the stands. And we are going to end this on the 54 chart. Base is empty. Ground ball back to the pitcher, knocks it down, picks up, fires to first for the out unless roll versus E rating for a wild throw. Batter is second. So 20 is the 1D20 roll, and Mordecai Brown is a 0. So he's going to make the play, recovering nicely. 1-3 on the putout, and the Reds are retired in order in the 9th. And that is your ball game, folks. So the Cubbies break open a tight one in the 8th inning with a 5-run outburst, and Mordecai Brown despite feeling a little off in his bullpen session, is absolutely stellar on the hill for the Cubbies. Your final line score, Chicago, 6 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. And for Cincinnati, no runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. Your winning pitcher, Mordecai Brown. Let me just check my stats real quick to see what he goes to in the replay. So Mordecai Brown came into this 26-9 with 3 saves. So he's going to go to 27-9. And your loser, despite pitching great for 7 innings, is going to be Bob Ewing. And offensive star of the game, we are going to go with Frank Wildfire Schulte, the Cubs right fielder. Schulte today went 2 for 5, 3 RBIs, and a run scored. So there you have it from Palace of the Fans in Cincinnati. Thanks for stopping in. And Dan Douglas, appreciate it. Matt, Steeler fan, 1933. Check out his Glory Days Boxing Dynasty. And as a reminder, Glory Days Boxing Supplemental Set 1 was just released last Friday, so you can get that at sidelinestrategy.com. And Fall Classic Baseball, very fun and entertaining game. And, of course, one of the few that features dead ball seasons, which I love. So that's going to be it as we are heading now for the final week of our 1908 pennant race with the Cubs holding a slim lead. And after today's their lead in the National League is going to be I'm sorry, New York and Chicago are actually tied now. So Chicago sits at 94 and 54. And they do have 4 games in hand on New York, who sits at 92 and 52. So a dead even tie between those 2 teams, and then lurking 2 games out in 3rd place is the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we're in for an exciting finish to this stretch run 1908 replay. So we'll see you next time on the channel. Until next time, thanks everyone for stopping by. Please hit that like button on the way out. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Hope you all have a great night, and we will see you.